G'day, I'm Jess Skarratt and welcome to Surfing Australia TV. Well, I hope you're buckled in because we have a huge show planned. Here's what's coming up. The Be The Influence Australian Board Riders Battle is the biggest grassroots board riders event in Australian surfing history. Now, this massive series culminates in a final in Cronulla on the Australia Day weekend. We were at Duranbah Beach on the Gold Coast for the Queensland qualifying round, where a cavalcade of stars, including world champs Mick Fanning, Joel Parkinson and Stephanie Gilmore, were out in the water battling it out for their clubs.
Hi, I'm Joel Parkinson. We're here at the Be The Influence Australian Board Riders Battle at D-Bar.
Be The Influence is a great cause to be able to tackle binge drinking with youths, and it's a pretty tough topic, and obviously when you're young you just want to go crazy, but it's just all about staying in control, and obviously Be The Influence is a great way to get kids down the beach and being involved in things like surfing and just staying away from the alcohol.
You know, look, it's a great initiative, it's a great tie into surfing. I mean, the sport's got great role models, and you know, in Mick Fanning, Kelly Slater, Joel Parkinson, Steph Gilmore, just to name a few.
Be The Influence is starting to make a really good headway in the community, and you know, if you want to have a couple of drinks, you know, just do it in moderation, and you know, just make sure you're always doing it for fun and not for sour times.
It's just cool because it brings everyone together again, and all the clubs versing each other. It's just cool to have that camaraderie in surfing. Like, surfing's such an individual sport when you're competing, so when you're all out there together, like rooting for each other, is like the best feeling, especially when one of your teammates like gets a massive score and everyone's like, yeah, you know, so especially if you win, you just feel so stoked and you feel proud to represent your club, and yeah, it's all good.
It's great to be able to come back and surf for the event, and you know, just get that real team spirit again. It's really fun.
Camaraderie is everything. I mean, the clubs are all about that. You know, it's about, you know, surfing with your mates, and you know, supporting them, and you know, having that club spirit, and showing the kids that this is really the grassroots of Australian surfing. This is where all our world champions have come from.
It's where you begin. It's where I guess we're all groomed from kids to where we are today. It's like a family. We're all battling for this title, and you know, you're cheering each other on, like brothers and sisters.
All year we're surfing, you know, just individually, and then you know, when you come back for the club, you sort of don't want to let the team down, so you sort of have a little bit more pressure in that sense, where you know, if you don't make it, then you sort of, you know, apologising to everyone in the club.
If I lost in a World Tour event, I feel like I let down myself, but I don't want to let down my team, and you know, that's almost just as much pressure.
I think this will be a very legitimate Australian title, combining all the strengths of the club. You know, having the top professionals surfing with junior girls, with seniors and other open surfers is, you know, it's just a great cross section of club surfing. Oh, you know, I think it's a wonderful concept.
we don't find the spark in each club. And D-Bar have had a great year this year, and Kira have always been there every year for us. And to get one up in front of them in hard conditions with our world's best here, it means a lot for us. We just want to take it to another level when we get to Cronulla, and hopefully it'll come our way, and hopefully some Queensland club will take home victory.
The Soundwave Australian Junior titles are back. Surfing Australia and the Soundwave Festival bring you the best junior surfers from across Australia to battle for this year's national title. Starting November 30, it'll be 7 days of state against state and mate against mate at Kiama Beach, New South Wales. So check out AustralianJuniorSurfingTitles.com. The Soundwave Australian Junior titles, rocking out with Soundwave and Surfing Australia this summer.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
swimming,
basketball,
netball
and surfing,
you'll see this logo.
It's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Travelling overseas with your mobile phone can be very expensive. That's why we created Travel Sim, a prepaid international roaming SIM card that works in over 190 countries. With great low rates, no matter where you are or where you're calling, your costs are under control. And with Travel Sim, you can finally use your smartphone for what it was designed for, even overseas. Travel Sim, what you want when you travel. Get yours from participating retailers or online at travelsim.net.au.
More than 150 of Australia's best SUP competitors converged on Currumbin on the Gold Coast for the inaugural Be the Influence Australian SUP and paddleboard titles. Now, Currumbin really is a mecca for this sport, FYI. Many of the world's best paddlers actually train there. And at this event, all disciplines were covered, including SUP surfing and long distance racing.
We got some great conditions today. It looks like it's going to be only a small swell, but it's looking like we're going to have light northerly winds, which is fine for Currumbin Beach, and it's going to be an epic day of contests. We've got all of the open men and women divisions today, and also the open 40s and 50s hitting the water.
Something that Surfing Australia is quite passionate about, and something I'm personally passionate about, being a bit of a supper myself. I like to get out there on my stand-up. What a better place to do it than on the Gold Coast at Currumbin, which is synonymous with stand-up paddle surfing.
It's nice to be up here and the water's warm, and it's great to be sort of close to Surfing Australia, so I think a lot of people are pretty happy that we're all here and everyone's kind of frothing on the stand-ups. You know, everyone wants an Australian title. The young guys really want it, you know, it's a special kind of title, and I think you look back in a couple of years and go, oh wow, you know, that year I got the title. Yeah, a lot of people are pretty well frothing to, you know, do well, so got to watch your back, eh?
Always nice to have something at home, no travel time, no, you know, I'm going to go do some work right now too, so can fit everything in, it's perfect. Everyone's ripping, so anyone could be the winner.
Things that help preventative health, positive role models for our younger generation are very, very important. And what better platform than to use such a healthy role models like stand-up paddling.
The first couple of waves were real testing, like they were too small, and just waited around and ended up getting a waist-high set sort of thing and just made the most of it.
What a way to wrap up the competition, you know, the marathon, fastest time it's ever. You know, 3 days prior, we had a great day yesterday with the technical racing. The stand-up paddleboarders, what a phenomenal effort. The conditions they had to contend with, phenomenal efforts. You know, the actual the standard of surfing and what they were doing was just amazing. But you know, the racing is just been so hard fought. What a fantastic inaugural, you know, stand-up paddleboard and Australian titles that we've seen here. And many thanks to Be The Influence for being involved and our major sponsor.
At the start I took off pretty hard, and then I started looking at Burleigh and it was taking so long to get there. I just started to ease off a bit, but then I saw them catching up, so I put in a pretty big sprint for the last bit.
I wanted to sort of get a lead because if anything it's just good for your head. It's nice to sort of be in front, not sort of worrying about having to catch, because then you sort of start panicking and losing your balance and all that sort of thing. So I sort of went out hard, and I went out, you know, quite wide at the start to sort of, yeah, just sort of tack in at the end.
The conditions yesterday were pretty ordinary. We had those 20-25 knot winds, and I got caught up in a bit of the carnage, stuck on a couple cans, so definitely looking today to make it back and get up there. Yeah, you know, we got to like 300 metres out, and I could see Bo pulling away, and I was like, this is where I got to put it in, this is where I got to make him back or it's all over. So I linked up a few bumps, caught up a bit of ground, and yeah, we were sort of pushing for this one wave, and I just pushed over the top, gave me that 10-20 metre lead, and I just hemmed it up the creek.
I think it's going to be an important part of the overall Surfing Australia culture for many years to come.
For any info on upcoming SUP events or anything to do with the sport really, just head to our website.
The Wahoo Surfer Groms Comps are on again this summer with 10 massive events across Australia. For boys and girls from under 8s to 14s, Wahoo's got you covered. But it's so much more than a surf comp with loads of beach games, giveaways and tons of prizes. Events are kicking off in September and are filling fast, so don't miss out. Head to surfingaustralia.com to enter. And for a chance to win an all-expenses trip to the respective boys and girls 3-day Wahoo professional coaching surf camps at the Hurley Surfing Australia High Performance Centre. This summer, colour at Wahoo.
The original Source Intense Surf Challenge is a digital tour that showcases 15 of Australia's best big wave surfers. Check it out. Yeah, big wave surfing is becoming really popular, and with competitions like this, it just showcases and, you know, brings it to the public. Yeah, I think it's a really good concept. I was excited to be a part of it because, you know, instead of sitting on footage and waiting maybe to do a clip for once a year, we get to showcase all our best clips and we can update it every month. And yeah, it's just really exciting for the public to be able to vote and, you know, keep up to date with the latest stuff. It's a lot different from anything that's ever happened before in Australia. And, you know, it's all digital, online, and the public can vote every month on their favourite surfer and obviously check out the latest clips. A lot of the guys in the competition are really good and close friends, and I think the level of surfing and the stuff that you guys are going to see is going to be really high. People can vote and check out all the action on intensesurfchallenge.com.
Surfing Australia is really proud to announce its second major documentary on female surfing in Australia. The next wave follows 8 of our best juniors as they strive to make selection to represent Australia at the World Junior Championships. We caught up with 2 of the stars of the doco. First up, Bells Beach local Zoe Clark, and then Sunshine Coast surfer Laura Poncini.
Hi, I'm Zoe Clark. I'm from Jamjuk. Bells Beach is my local break. I guess it's special because everyone you know is out there and it's just like great vibe, everyone's hooting everyone when you get a good wave, and if you just have a great surf out there then it's just one to remember forever.
I think she was born to surf. She just loves the water. Never been scared of the surf. You know, at 9, 10 she was going out at 6-foot bells and we hip hop, and so they nicknamed her Little Waimea.
My strongest memory of surfing is probably at Cozy Corner on the big board, Dad pushing me in, and I remember when getting out of the water and telling everyone that I'd got 100 or 200 waves and having so much fun.
She's very lucky. She's got fantastic friends. They're a really natural bunch of kids, either a surf or surf club, and she seems to entertain them all and amuse them.
From a young age, she's always been quite competitive and very focused and just knows how to get in the zone.
I think in surfing, you've really got to put on a show. You know, within the time that you're in the water, you've really got to make the most of it. It's always really good at that.
Out in the water, I wouldn't classify myself as a show-off, but I'd definitely say that I try my hardest and hassle and get the best waves as possible.
It's always pretty aggressive out in the water.
Everyone here is very supportive, and Surfing Victoria seems to help me a lot in whatever I want to do. My parents, they definitely help me through anything I need helping through. My sisters are pretty supportive. If I'm ever down or need help with anything, need calming down, they seem to be able to come through with the goods and help me out. There's a couple of people that inspire me locally. My coach, definitely my coach. He's a great surfer, and Lane Beachley, because she changed the world view on women's surfing.
She's always been really talented, but between last year and now, I can really see a massive difference with her consistency. In the last year, she's almost made every final in her divisions, which is fantastic.
She's got the ability, she's got the talent, so it's all there to do.
Surfing hasn't changed my life, surfing is my life.
My name is Laura Ponsini and I'm from Moffat Beach in Queensland. I usually surf with my cousin Polly. We just meet up in the mornings, or I give her a call, I'm like, come for a surf. But most mornings Dad takes me down to surf.
She wakes me up at 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes earlier. Come on, you're late, let's go, let's go.
She's always out there for the early dawn patrols with her dad, and in the last probably 12 to 18 months, we've really seen a huge progression in her style. She's got a beautiful bottom hand turn and a lovely off the top, which she loves to work on when there's quite a solid punchy wave.
My role model in life is my whole family, especially my brother. He's such a good motivator, and I love the days when he comes and he surfs with me.
Now she just smokes me. She's just on everything, getting every wave. She's always had a competitive streak in, and to the point where I was like first one to answer the telephone when the telephone was ringing, when we were like Rugrats. You know, to the first one to get dessert, to the point where she's, you know, out there trying to get an 8.5 if she needs it in a heat.
I love the feeling of winning.
Whenever there's a cross-country tournament or a carnival, she's normally winning that. In swimming, she's winning that. She's just a freak, but in a nice way.
She's always been an A+ student. She just applies that competitive attitude and edge towards everything she does, and that includes the schoolwork.
School will always come first, because in order to be a good surfer, you also need to make smart decisions out in the surf.
She's got a really positive attitude, and you know, when she's struggling in the gym, yeah, you can encourage her and she'll still keep going.
In the surfing world, I aspire to Tyler Wright because she trains so hard and she's really determined, and that's what I want to be. Laura rips. She's such a good surfer and inspires me, and I'm sure she inspires many other girls around my age as well.
Wind and Sea are so supportive of Laura. They can see the writing on the wall, and they'll do anything to keep her in the club and also to support her to reach her goals.
My personal philosophy or motto is be nice to everyone and create a nice mood, and yeah, so if you give people good things will happen to you, so yeah.
If you want to be a Steph Gilmore or you want to be the next Kelly Slater, you can't afford to go the path of taking drugs.
It kills me to think how many guys were good at what they were doing, had so many dreams and had so much potential, and had just thrown it away because the party scene on a Friday night was more important to them than the rest of the week in their surfing future.
All through my using, I thought that I had the power over drugs, and I thought that I could stop anytime I wanted to. I had no power over drugs. Drugs had all the power over me.
Most people would agree that surfing requires a tremendous amount of balance and control. In this session, we're going to discuss effective balance training methods for every surfer. There's three main components to consider with balance training, and they are your visual system, or what you can spot and see and read and react to, your vestibular system, which is your sense of balance that we innately have, as well as what's called your proprioceptive system, which is what we can feel, for example, through the board or on our skin as we ride a wave. Most efforts towards balance training are done on unstable surfaces with the thought that to increase stability, we must train in an unstable environment. This type of training is all about the proprioception, or the proprioceptive overload. But the science behind this is that in fact we can only get a certain amount of benefit from these proprioceptive training methods, and additional training in that area doesn't yield any more benefits. For example, if you've injured your ankle, doing unstable surface training is very, very important to restoring you to normal health. But with a healthy surfer, doing all of their training on an unbalanced surface actually doesn't make any scientific sense. In addition to small amounts of unstable surface training, athletes should be engaging in activities that will also challenge their visual and vestibular system. We use gymnastics activities to accomplish this, as well as street boarding drills. To be clear, stability requires strength, but training in an unstable environment does not adequately develop strength. So a surfer incorporating balance training needs to be strong, and they need to have good general stability through unstable surface training, but they must incorporate other activities that challenge the visual and vestibular systems. Contrary to popular belief, unless you have a specific injury that requires rehabilitation, spending the majority of your training time on an unstable surface in pursuit of balance training is ineffective. By having a comprehensive training program, an athlete will be able to develop the strength, mobility, and awareness that will give them superior balance.
I want to be the best I can be, and there's no better high than pushing myself and my surfing. For me, surfing is everything. I can't imagine not having surfing with me for the rest of my life.
Don't let drugs destroy your future.
The Soundwave Australian Junior titles are back. Surfing Australia and the Soundwave Festival bring you the best junior surfers from across Australia to battle for this year's national titles. Starting November 30, it'll be 7 days of state against state and mate against mate at Kiama Beach, New South Wales. So check out AustralianJuniorSurfingTitles.com. The Soundwave Australian Junior titles, rocking out with Soundwave and Surfing Australia this summer.
Every weekend, over 70 young Australians end up in hospital because of alcohol-related violence.
I choose not to be one of these statistics, and I don't want my family or friends to be either. The partnership with Be The Influence, tackling binge drinking,
means that young people can now be a part of surfing without being bombarded with booze images. A lot of people don't realise they're binge drinking.
If you drink a lot in a short space of time,
trying to get drunk, you're binge drinking. Peer group pressure can be tough, but only you know what's best for your body.
Good friends don't pressure you into something you don't want to. So go out with friends who think like you. And by doing so, we can start to change the drinking culture in our country. Be the influence and help us tackle binge drinking in Australia.
Set your sights on this breathtaking view. From Manly all the way to Dee Why, these beaches are a slice of Sydney paradise. And this place in particular is home to 7 times Women's World Surfing Champion, Miss Lane Beachley. What makes this part of the world so special to you?
Well, it's obvious that we have the most beautiful beaches in the world, and I can say that having travelled the world on the ASP World Tour for 20 years as a professional surfer. And from a surfer's point of view, the conditions that we have here cater to every single surfing level.
Right, so it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or an expert?
Nope, we've got beginners down at Manly and Collaroy, so we have to say that the beaches here in Sydney can cater to all surfing levels, but ultimately they are the most beautiful. I love a variety of conditions, so I surf at Manly, I surf at freshwater, and then I go up to DY Point to really challenge myself in barrelling waves, or I go and challenge myself against the crowds at Narrabeen. But ultimately, we have the safest beaches in the world. A lot of our beaches are patrolled year round. Wow. And like I said, we have conditions that can challenge even the best surfers in the world.
So many beautiful spots around here to choose from, whether you're a surfer, swimmer, bodyboarder, doesn't matter. I think it's about time that I went and tested the theory myself. Time to hit the water.
Well, that's all we have time for on today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. For more info on anything that you have seen, just head to our website and don't forget to hit us up on social media. We would love to hear from you. I'm Jess Skarratt and I'll see you next time for more Surfing Australia TV.